unique perspective with our man, Domonique Foxworth, where he's going to tell us what he's hottest on now. And I've gotten a preview of this one, Dominique, and I have to tell you, great minds think alike. I love this take. What is your unique perspective?
Okay, so it's with the Saints. I think that we all been kind of critical of Drew Brees' arm strength and the fact that he's aging a bit. He hasn't been playing poorly, but I think they need to bring Jameis in to start maybe 3 or 4 games in midseason to allow Drew Brees' arm to rest. Because one thing that we can't deny is by the end of the season, by playoff time, we're looking at a different Drew Brees every year. For the past 3 years, we're looking at a different Drew Brees than we have early in the season. So I think having Jameis start a couple games, not necessarily a benching. It's kind of what happened last year. Drew hurt his thumb, so then they had Bridgewater step in and win 4 games, and that preserved Drew a little bit later in the season. So not only does it give you a chance to preserve Drew Brees, it also gives you a chance to give Jameis Winston some work. You might need Jameis Winston late in the season, and this is the stretch that I picked out. It's against 4 teams that I think they can beat. Well, 3 teams. The Falcons, they played twice, that I think that they should be able to beat relatively easily. You might need Jameis at some point in this season, so go ahead and pick the time when you're going to use him, get him those reps, and let Drew Brees potentially rest and be fresher for the postseason run, because this is a Super Bowl or bust team. And I understand the challenger with this team have been on the defensive side more than the offensive side, but if you can help out that quarterback and take some pressure off of Alvin Kamara, for goodness sake, it seems like he's the only player on that offense. Maybe you can do that with a guy with a much stronger arm that can attack deep down the field.
Me, the words you are looking for are load management. And I was talking about this last summer. I actually brought it up to Sean Payton. I was thinking maybe 2 games. You're talking about 4 games. It's something we haven't seen before. Sean Payton didn't laugh at me when I brought it up with him when he came on Get Up at some point during the summer. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. D. Wood, are you laughing at Dominique?
Actually, I'm not, to be honest with you. I think of all seasons, this might be the one. And the reason I say that is because I don't think home field advantage in the playoffs is going to mean particularly, that much this year as opposed to, other seasons because of the pandemic. So listen, we did see what Drew Brees missing some games last year did for him down the stretch, and maybe that might be a possibility for the Saints.
All right, I wasn't expecting agreement on this one, Lewis. Are you going to tell Dominique he's crazy? Someone has to.
Yeah, in theory, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, of course you would want Drew to be as fresh as possible down the stretch. I don't think they're going to do it maybe that dramatically as far as him missing 4 games. But I think there is something to be said for the fact that you have to look out for him and you have to, really monitor the wear and tear on him as you get down the season. I think the one thing, though, with the Saints you have to keep in mind is that Michael Thomas has not played since opening weekend. And I think that's why so much of the offensive load has been put on Alvin Kamara's shoulders. And make no mistake, as Dominique said, it has been a lot. Emmanuel Sanders is now starting to come into his own, and he looked pretty good on Monday night against the Chargers this past week. He made a lot of big plays. But I think overall, look, Sean's a smart guy. I mean, he's in tune to Drew as much as anyone has ever been in tune to Drew and what he needs and doesn't need. And they need him fresh going down the stretch because you're right. This defense needs to play better, and they need to make it to the Super Bowl. Otherwise, 2020 is it's not going to be what they expected it to be.
Absolutely right. Okay, so I think we're all kind of on the same line. Now,
disappointed. It's not unique enough. If everyone agrees that it's not unique, I need to get a little
Next
bit
week,
wild
I
on
need
the
something
limb.
a little more outlandish. You're talking about load managing a Hall of Famer, and we can't get anybody yelling. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.